Yeah, she's incredible. Can we get her on the schedule Thursday or Friday?
Well, next week's into quarter.
Carol's gonna be in Shanghai till the 15th.
I'll be in Aruba with the guys from Chevron.
We gotta pull in Steve from accounting.
Keep up the hard work, maybe you'll get one of these someday.
How about we get her on the calendar first of the year?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. The most important thing you can do in your interview process is to move quick and be efficient. Today I'm going to talk to you about exactly how you can be incredibly efficient in your interview process, who should be screening for what, and how you can take your process from beginning to end in less than 2 weeks. Now, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it.
But before we start the countdown, do this first.
Step 1, what does the perfect candidate look like? If your CEO, CTO, senior developer, and your HR recruiter all have a different idea of what the perfect candidate looks like, you're probably not going to find the perfect candidate. So get all your key stakeholders in a room and discuss these 4 steps. What does success look like in this role? What are the day-to-day responsibilities? What are the characteristics that this person would need to have? Your company DNA. What makes your company unique? I borrowed a lot of these concepts from Jeff Hyman in his book, Recruit Rockstars. If you're interested in some more detail, I would highly recommend this book. But if you want to stick with the Cliff Notes, keep watching.
Let's say our first recruiter interviews a candidate on November 30th.
Step 2. The big thing with this HR recruiter interview is hammering out the most time-consuming part of this, screening, getting a volume. This is your HR recruiter or third-party recruiter who is going through the resumes, sourcing candidates, and doing those initial phone screens, making sure that the individual they're screening meets the criteria, checks those boxes. I always recommend that the HR recruiter coordinates with the technical hiring manager, blocks off several interview slots per week. That way, if the HR recruiter feels good about a candidate, they throw them on the calendar and you don't have to waste time scheduling.
Okay, your phone screen went well and your hiring managers have Thursday and Friday blocked off for technical interviews.
Step 3, your technical interview. Definitely the most important part of this process. The person doing this call should be somebody who is either going to be managing this individual or somebody who's done the job before. Here's where you're going to do a deep dive on technical skills. Back in the day, this is when you would do things like whiteboard challenges, some type of a coding exercise, see what they come up with.
Let's assume you assigned a code challenge and gave the candidate 4 days to complete it.
Step 4, senior leadership. If a candidate makes it this far, it should rarely be a no. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong. Your senior leadership in most cases will be very busy individuals and very tough to schedule time with. So the last thing you want is to bombard them with candidates that should have been weeded out earlier in the process. What I find these interviews most frequently used for is to determine if this person fits the company culture, that DNA that we talked about, or what is their potential here? Where do they see themselves? Is this somebody we can see growing within the company?
Your leadership team interviews the candidate Friday and wants to move forward with an offer.
Great. Senior leadership likes them. Get that offer letter out, and boom, you just landed a rock star, unicorn, incredible software engineer in 2 weeks. Now, this is how you get ahead, folks.
You've got your offer letter Monday, signed, sealed, and delivered.
One more bonus tip here, guys. Always follow up with your candidates. It's super important and it means a lot. It's something a lot of companies don't do. Nobody wants to get ghosted. Send them a follow-up. Give them that feedback. You're being a good person and you're helping your company's reputation. This has been Brian Lee, Lion's Eye Recruiting. Happy hunting.